Hello, and welcome to Matador News. I'm Katherine Murillo.
And I'm Jose Saenz. The massive rainstorm passing over Southern California is expected to break rain records that have stood for more than 50 years in the Los Angeles area. Rainfall on December 2nd in 1961 and 1966 set records in a few cities, including Santa Maria, Burbank, and Long Beach. And several of those records were set to fall as it began to rain this morning. 4 to 6 inches of rain are expected to pour on the San Gabriel and Orange County coastal mountains, and up to 8 inches of rain may fall on isolated areas. The storm has triggered voluntary evacuations in Silverado Canyon and Camarillo near the Springs fire burn areas due to potential mudslides. Experts say that the current rainstorm is the biggest of the rain season, which began July 1st.
Authorities are formally investigating whether Michael Brown's stepfather intended to incite a riot last week in Ferguson, Missouri. Lewis had urged the crowd to burn this bitch down after the grand jury's decision not to indict police officer Darren Wilson in the shooting death of the unarmed teenager. Protests and demonstrations have continued around the country all week. Police have not spoken ahead about the actions, but they intend to do so. Police Chief Tom Jackson added that multiple law enforcement agencies are currently involved in the investigation.
And now at Cal State Northridge, Matador reporter Evan Stevens has more on the CSUN protest against Ferguson decision.
The CSUN Black Student Union is leading a silent protest on campus. CSUN Black Student Union President Alexis Smith says they hope to educate students as well as make a statement.
After talking to some of our professors, they were telling us that they had classes where people didn't even know who Mike Brown was. People didn't even know what was going on. And so we just thought that how can we educate but also make a statement at the same time and just make sure that people understand that like police brutality isn't just a black thing. It's not just a black male thing. There are children that have been murdered by the police. There are women that have been murdered by the police. We actually have some professors that have agreed to give some of their students extra credit in participating in our events. Professors have been forwarding our flyers around, letting us come in and give announcements to their classes and things like that. We hope a lot of people come out. We expect that a lot of people will come out and support and just, and if they don't know, just learn something.
The name of the event is 430, symbolizing the amount of hours Michael Brown's dead body was left uncovered on the streets in Ferguson. Back to you in the studio.
Obama is proposing funding meant to help improve relations between police departments and minority communities.
I'm going to be proposing some new community policing initiatives that will significantly expand funding and training for local law enforcement, including up to 50,000 additional body-worn cameras for law enforcement agencies.
The White House has asked for $263 million in funding for police cameras and training in wake of the unarmed shooting of Ferguson teenager Michael Brown. The program, which would need congressional approval, would offer a total of $75 million over 3 years to match state funding for cameras by 50%, helping to pay for more than 50,000 devices.
A former Pentagon official has emerged as President Obama's top candidate to become the next Secretary of Defense. If confirmed by the Senate, Ashton Carter would replace Chuck Hagel, who resigned last Monday, but will serve until a replacement is confirmed. Carter was the Pentagon's second-in-command from October 2011 to December of last year. The likely Defense Secretary nominee also served as Deputy Secretary under both Hagel and his predecessor, Leon Panetta. Carter was previously seen as a contender for Secretary of Defense, but was passed over for Hagel.
Kenya's President Uhuru Kenyatta says his government will intensify his country's war against terrorism after new attacks by al-Shabaab militants.
The obvious intent is to create hostility and suspicion across ethnic and religious lines and to drive non-Muslims from certain parts of this country. Dear Kenyans, the time has come for each and every one of us to decide and choose. Are you on the side of an open, free, democratic Kenya, or do you stand with the repressive, intolerant, and murderous extremists?
Early Tuesday, the bodies of at least 36 workers killed by al-Shabaab extremists were found on a quarry in Kormi near the Somalia border. Al-Shabaab has claimed responsibility for the killings. They say it was in retaliation for mosque raids that Kenyan security forces carried out last month to clear out extremists. 10 days ago, the militants ambushed a bus in Kenya and attacked those who failed to recite Quran verses, killing 28 people. The al-Shabaab, which has ties to al-Qaeda, has launched a series of attacks to non-Muslim comes in Kenya since Kenya forces went into neighboring Somalia in 2011 to battle extremists.
The wife of Islamic State leader Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi has been detained by Lebanese military. Baghdadi's second wife and their young son were detained by security forces some 10 days ago after trying to cross the border from Syria with false papers. The Al Safir newspaper describes his wife and son as a valuable catch. They're currently being held for interrogation at the Defense Ministry's headquarters. The Islamic State named Baghdadi as a caliphate leader.
Matador News reporter Nancy Moreira has more on the Matador Network program that connects CSUN alumni with current students.
So hi, I'm with Jordan Helo, the program coordinator of Matador Network program. And Jordan, hi, I wanted to say hi.
Hello.
So this program offers CSUN students and graduate students the opportunity to have a CSUN alumni mentor. So I wanted you to tell me a little bit about the services students can expect when they have these mentors. So can you tell me a little bit about that?
Yeah, so it's actually an online database of mentors, and what students do is they create an online profile and they go into the system and they can look for a mentor based on what industry they're currently working in, what major they had here at CSUN, even down to what clubs they were involved in at CSUN. And they can look through a bunch of these profiles that come up through their searches, find someone that fits their needs and what they're looking for, and then they go out and reach them via email. Let them know they're looking for them as a mentor, and then from there the relationship really starts, and they can either continue to email one another or decide to meet face to face and kind of continue with that mentoring relationship.
Okay, that's really cool. So I want you to tell me, where can CSUN students go if they want to actually physically go and talk to the mentors?
They can come to see me. Actually, I work in the alumni office, which is located in Laurel Hall. And they can come to me with any questions about the program, or feedback about the program would be nice as well. But really our mentors are housed online, so once they reach out to the mentors, then they can decide if they'd like to meet in person.
Okay, that's good. So for those of you who don't know, actually the program has already been up and coming, right? Mm-hmm. So the program will actually be officially launched on December 8th. So thank you for having us, for coming with us. So back to John Salas with the latest in sports.
A St. Louis Ram official and the county police chief are differing about the team apologizing after the actions of some players. Jeff Fisher, the team's head coach, says the players have their right to the First Amendment.
The choice that the players made? No, they're exercising their right to free speech. They will not be disciplined by the club, nor will they be disciplined by the National Football League.
During introductions, 5 players raised their hands in a show of solidarity with Ferguson protesters before Sunday's game. Team official Kevin Demoff said he expressed regret for any disrespect to law enforcement. St. Louis County Sergeant Sean McGuire says the comments were interpreted as an apology. The St. Louis Police Association issued a statement demanding that the players be disciplined and for the league to issue an apology. Adrian Peterson is finally getting a chance to state his case before the NFL. The Vikings star running back is appealing his suspension at a hearing today in New York. Peterson says a league official told him if he went on the commissioner's exempt list, he would be credited for time served plus a 2-day suspension. The Players Association is presenting a transcript of the conversation and a recording today. The 2012 MVP admitted to misdemeanor reckless assault, hoping to rejoin the team, but NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell suspended Peterson until at least April 15th. Peterson is having his hearing before the NFL Executive Vice President for Labor Relations. Normally, Goodell hears all NFL appeals, but he recused himself in this case. Janae Rice is continuing to defend her husband following a ruling overturning his indefinite ban from the NFL. She's talked to NBC's Matt Lauer on the Today Show. Janae says her husband is a human being who made a mistake he has never made before and will not make again. An elevator camera in Atlantic City Casino caught the then Baltimore Ravens football player punching her unconscious and then dragging her out of the elevator on tape. Reyes says he takes full responsibility for his actions.
You know, that was just very uncharacteristic of myself. I take responsibility. That was very uncharacteristic.
Janae believes a silver lining in this situation is a spotlight this incident has shined on domestic violence in our society. Now, let's toss to Samantha Benitz with the latest in business news.
Former Apple CEO Steve Jobs has come back to life to make an appearance in court this week to defend Apple from antitrust allegations. Jobs will appear in a video recorded just months before his death from pancreatic cancer in 2011. He addresses complaints that Apple's music service violated antitrust laws to limit iPod's compatibility with music sold by rival music companies. If the plaintiffs win the case, damages could exceed $1 billion. The FBI is warning companies to protect their computer systems after Sony's malware attack. Sony's hacking began last Monday when a group called the Guardians of Peace gained access to the studio system. The group sent Sony emails threatening to expose their top secrets and data to the world. The emails also say this is the beginning of their pursuit for equality against Sony. Movies such as Annie and The Interview have been leaked online far ahead of their scheduled release date. And now back to John for the latest in health and giving back on this Giving Tuesday.
We've had Black Friday and Cyber Monday. Now Matador News reporter Briseida Holguin is live in the newsroom with more on what is going on today.
Thank you. Giving Tuesday is a global day dedicated to giving back. The movement started back in 2012 in New York City as a way to counteract a season of marketing, CSUN activities, assistant for volunteer programs, and services. Annie Avestian explains the events going on today.
We have two events going on. One of them is the Red Cross is going to be here at the University Student Union. They're going to be here from 10 a.m. to about 3:15 in the afternoon in Thousand Oaks Room in the University Student Union, and they're collecting blood donations.
They will also be accepting donations for toys, clothes, and food from 12 to 5 this afternoon at the Matadome. Back to you in the studio.
It's the day after World AIDS Day, and the Food and Drug Administration is scheduled to review a controversial ban. The FDA's current guidelines prohibit blood donations by men who have sex with men, a ban many call discrimination. The policy was created in 1983 when little was known about HIV and AIDS. The policy is intended for any man who has had sex with another man after 1977. But now LGBT rights activists argue new technology and other improvements render the ban archaic. Australia, Britain, and Japan all accept donations by men who have sex with men after a one-year period of absence. Some legal experts believe the FDA panel will make a similar recommendation for the U.S. Now, let's toss it back to Samantha Benitz for some entertainment news.
The Bieber family can't seem to stay out of trouble. Now, Canadian police are investigating the latest incident where Justin's father, Jeremy Bieber, allegedly threw the singer's dog off a second-story balcony in an angry rage. Karma, an American bulldog, landed in a snowbank and is now in the hands of the trainer. The dog trainer says the singer's father lost his temper because the dog is not socialized or properly trained. On a lighter note, Scarlett Johansson is officially a married woman. It has been confirmed the actress secretly tied the knot with her fiancé, Romain Doriac, on October 1st. Sources say the private ceremony took place at the ranch at Rock Creek in Montana, where Kate Bosworth also got hitched. The wedding ceremony was held a month after the birth of the couple's first daughter, Rose. That's it for entertainment. Back to Katherine and Jose.
Thank you for watching Matador News. I'm Jose Saenz.
And I'm Catherine Murillo. Have a great day, Matadors, and good luck on finals.